One of the most common questions I get as a life coach is, how can I make people think about me more? Whether it's a romantic interest, a friend, or a crucial business relationship, all of us want to impact other people in a positive way. Do you want to know the secrets? I'll provide you with some psychological insights and pieces of advice that will help you become more sticky to any category of people. By the end of the article, you'll learn how to become memorably appealing to others. My purpose is to help you grow your confidence and be authentic in all situations. 1. Building positive associations is key. If you've ever talked to or simply met people who seem to be a delight to have around, it's probably not a miracle. Without knowing, such people have most likely become associated with something good in your brain. For example, if Jenny is always funny, supportive, and a good person in general, your brain learns to code the idea of Jenny as something that brings positive emotions. This is something from the realm of classic conditioning. Things that happen together frequently become associated. So when your brain is presented with one of them, it automatically pulls the other one in too. You can learn to use this to your advantage and make sure your presence is appreciated. To communicate better, direct your focus outward. Become a good listener. Ask people about themselves. Tell good jokes, and above all, help others in any way you can. Over time, that will make sure any occurrence, whether in your presence or not, will be associated with positive vibes. 2. Embracing your own mystery. As social creatures, we're hardwired to be endlessly curious about the unknown. You can stoke this innate fascination by strategically revealing yourself in layers. Rather than putting every detail of your life on instant display, practice judicious self-disclosure. To build an aura of mystique, mention tantalizing hints about your passions, adventures, and quirks to leave people wanting to know more. Spark their imagination about who you really are underneath the surface. By spacing out new backgrounds and insights, you create an enjoyable challenge for their inquisitive minds to solve. This prompts them to frequently ponder you as they try piecing together the puzzle of your intriguing identity. 3. Igniting the Zeigarnik effect. Ever had a half-finished task nagging at the back of your mind? You are experiencing the Zeigarnik effect, where our brains get cognitively itchy over incomplete things until we can properly close the loop. You can use this tendency to capture and retain people's attention. When interacting, intentionally leave things open-ended and unresolved at natural breaking points. Bring up enticing new topics without resolving them yet. Or simply let conversations end on a high note of curiosity, rather than wrapping up every loose end. Their minds will keep chewing over the lingering threads you've left, unconsciously bringing you back to their thoughts until you can revisit those captivating openings later on. You've implanted an unresolved mental hook that keeps luring them back. 4. Making it about them, not you. Here's an intriguing paradox. The less self-obsessed you are, the more you'll stick in other people's heads. Egocentrism is a turnoff, while grounded self-assurance attracts admirers. Invest energy in bettering yourself through health, hobbies, relationships, and personal growth. When you're thriving from self-compassion and living purposefully, you emanate magnetic charisma that draws interest. But crucially, social interactions should be more about uplifting others than performing for them. Be vulnerable, yet composed, confident, yet keenly interested in what makes them tick. You'll become that compelling life-of-the-party presence people buzz about long after. And the kicker? All the self-improvement makes you too self-assured to fret over whether you're on their mind or not. 5. Sharing an in-crowd connection. People are very tribal in nature. They bond over the most trivial things they have in common and share secrets, jokes, and frames of reference. You should use this and show them that there are certain things that you both and not the rest of the people get. For example, it might be an inside joke based on some everyday minor annoyance, or you might turn out to be a supporter of the same underdog team. Otherwise, you might share some other unpopular views on some well-recognized thing. Make sure this person knows that the two of you are inside of something, while other people are outside your common cause. At that point, they will start seeing you as somebody they can share everything and talk at length with. 6. Finding your signature spark. We all have some quirks, talents, or passions that make us truly one of a kind. And I'm not just talking about hobbies. I mean the kind of unique spark that infuses how you live life. Maybe you bring an intellectual, cerebral wit to every conversation. Perhaps you face every challenge with the spiritual equanimity of a person who knows everything is going to be okay. It could be that it's your eccentric taste in clothes that turns your routine errand runs into mobile performance art displays. Whatever the source of your signature spark is, own it and flaunt it shamelessly. After all, nothing is more compelling than being genuinely, unapologetically yourself. Besides, once you do start sharing those undiluted parts of yourself, people in your life won't be able to forget you. They'll be regularly reminded of the unforgettable experiences only you could create for anyone who comes into your orbit. 7. Cultivating an air of pleasant surprise. Predictability is the opposite of memorability. You want people to experience jolts of pleasant surprise every time they talk to you. But note, this does not mean you should suddenly decide to be outrageous all the time, or begin mixing world-changing epiphanies with a transient cosmic gas. Instead, look for minor ways to go against the grain. If you are usually very reserved, overcome people's reluctance to talk to you by initiating fun small talk. If you are more concerned about the shortcomings of the world, give people compliments when they are not expecting them. This kind of light opposition creates an uplifting tension that would make people draw the following conclusion. Wow, that totally caught me off guard, but in a good way. He's not like anyone I know. There's something really fascinating about him. 8. Mastering two-way vulnerability. True connection happens when two people reveal their real selves and receive the same from others. Over-the-top neediness leads to push away, but timely vulnerability does draw others to you. Safely disclose your problem, fear, or emotion when the situation appears. Still, do not stop and give the other person your ear when you receive their trust. Create an area for the other person to open their interior while receiving their openness with great interest. This mutual bond makes a great impression on both. At this moment, your inner pathways also get engraved in her head forever, far beyond the banal, detectable conversation. This is the profoundest way of talking to someone, talking to the soul of our shared human nature. 9. Leaving a legacy imprint. While these techniques will help you stay alive in people's minds now, after all, you would like to influence how they will think of you in many years. What kind of heartwarming story about your life will people remember? What virtues, philosophies, and memories will you instill in your loved ones and grandchildren? Maybe your openness and kindness have made the lives of everyone around you cozy and warm. Perhaps you and your comrades were diligent advocates of abrupt, unexpected adventure, and your friends now have 1,000 amusing stories that they will recall with laughter. Or maybe you were an intellectual pillar and mentor whose ideas and organic wisdom allowed your students and apprentices to speak of them with awe. Live in such a way so that when you become history someday, the illusion about you is imprinted with happiness, wisdom, and love. 10. Getting unforgettable for the right reasons. Develop empathy and the ability to hear another person to communicate on the level of soul, not superficially. If you compress my advice as tightly as possible, then be that aura that attracts positive thoughts. You need your person to think about you when they want to develop themselves, when they want to be grateful for strong people around, or want to remember the brightest moments of their life. You don't have to go through someone's soul, and you will be remembered and, moreover, taken a cherished place. If you want to ensure that people can't help but think of you, use your powers for good. Be your authentic self and show off your good qualities whenever possible. Don't resort to any tactics or manipulations. And just remember, you're already worthy of being loved. And that's when the real magic happens. Thanks for watching.